You will never heal until you understand this about your mother. These words might sting, but Carl Jung believed that the path to healing isn't paved with comfort. It's paved with confrontation. And one of the deepest confrontations we must face is the one with our mother. Carl Jung didn't write about mothers the way most psychologists did. To him, the mother wasn't just a person. She was an archetype, a force buried deep in the unconscious, one that shaped our psyche long before we could speak. It's about understanding her. She too was a child once. She carried her own mother complex, her own shadows, and chances are she passed them on to you without even knowing it. Healing begins when we stop idealizing or demonizing our mothers and start seeing them as they really were, not as goddesses, not as monsters, but as human beings, flawed, hurting, confused, just like us. The Mother Archetype is one of the most powerful and primal. It represents nurturing, protection, creation, but also containment, and sometimes limitation. But here's the key. The mother complex is not about blaming your mother. She was often doing the best she could, influenced by her own experiences, fears, and the archetypal forces shaping her. The patterns you carry are bigger than any one person. They are echoes of this deep archetype, passed down through generations and cultures. Understanding this helps us step out of blame and into compassion for her, for ourselves, and for the complex, messy nature of human love. Because healing isn't about fixing her. It's about freeing yourself. You might say, my mother did her best. She was loving. Or even, she wasn't around, so how could she still affect me? But Carl Jung wasn't talking about your mother as a person. He was talking about the mother within you. The imprint of her, the emotional fingerprint she left on your soul long before you had words. As children, we absorb everything. Her tone of voice, her silences, her presence, her absence. We watch how she responds to pain, how she loves herself, how she copes. And we internalize it all, not just as information, but as identity. And here's what Jung understood better than anyone. Much of what we struggle with as adults, our fears, our patterns, our emotional blocks, they aren't random, they're echoes. You think you fear failure. Maybe what you really fear is disappointing the voice inside that once told you, be good, be quiet, be perfect. You think you can't trust people? Maybe it's because the first bond you were supposed to trust didn't feel safe. You think your sadness is about a breakup? Maybe it's the same feeling you felt when she turned away from you as a child, and no one ever helped you name it. Jung said we are all shaped by the unconscious, that realm beneath awareness, where our earliest experiences still live, and the mother archetype lives there more powerfully than almost anything else, because in the beginning, she was the world. And if that world was unpredictable, cold, overbearing, or even too perfect, we formed a reality around it, a reality we might still be stuck in. This is the wound you don't see, and it's not your fault, but it is your responsibility if you ever want to live freely, because no matter how far you run or how much you try to fix yourself, you will never heal until you turn inward and understand the mother who still lives inside your story. Before we continue, please take a moment to like this video. Your support helps more people discover these ideas, and if you're enjoying this journey into the mysteries of the mind, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. Now, back to the video. Carl Jung described the mother complex as an unconscious pattern formed by your earliest relationship, the one with the person who nurtured you or didn't. It's not just about whether your mother was good or bad. It's about how your nervous system interpreted her. Was she safe? Was she emotionally present? Was your love for her conditional on being a certain way? These impressions formed a blueprint, and now, without realizing it, You may replay that blueprint in your adult life. You might seek partners who feel just as unavailable as she did, or you may become the caretaker for everyone, hoping to earn the love you once had to work for. You might even feel guilty for setting boundaries, because love once meant sacrifice. These aren't just habits. They're relics of the original relationship. The mother complex shapes your sense of worth, your emotional triggers, even your definition of love. And until you recognize it, you're not just reacting to the present. You're still reacting to her. You're not a child anymore, but her voice might still live in your mind. That voice that tells you you're not enough. That makes you second-guess your choices. That whispers shame when you try to speak your truth. You hear it when you fail, when you succeed, when you try to rest, and feel guilty for it. This is what Jung meant when he said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate." You're not just afraid of rejection. You're afraid of her rejection. You're not just craving validation. You're still hoping she'll finally say, "I'm proud of you." This isn't about blaming your mother. It's about realizing the emotional rules you live by may have been written long ago in a language you didn't choose, and it's time to unlearn them. Healing begins the moment you realize you don't have to carry her patterns anymore. Awareness is the first step. But what do you do with it? Here are a few gentle, powerful ways to begin untangling the mother complex. 1. Journal the unspoken. Write letters you'll never send. Say what couldn't be said. Let your inner child speak, uncensored, unashamed. 2. Notice the voice. When you hear that inner critic, pause. Ask, whose voice is this? If it's not yours, don't obey it. Replace it with the voice you needed to hear. You're safe now. You're already enough. 3. Reparent yourself daily. Treat yourself like someone worth caring for. Make nourishing meals. Set boundaries without guilt. Talk to yourself with kindness, even when it feels strange, especially then. 4. Connect with others on the path. You're not the only one walking this road. Find books, groups, videos, therapist if needed. People who remind you, healing is not only possible, it's already happening. The truth is, you may never get the apology. You may never hear the words you longed for, but you can give them to yourself. And that might just set you free. At some point, you stop searching for the love you didn't get, and you start becoming the one who gives it. This is what it means to reparent yourself, to hold space for your needs, to speak to yourself with compassion, to protect the parts of you that were once unprotected. You begin to ask, what does my inner child need right now? And then you listen. This is not easy. There will be grief. There will be anger. There may even be love for the version of her who didn't know better. But Jung's wisdom is this. Wholeness comes not from perfection, but integration. You carry her story, but you're not bound to repeat it. When you become the mother you needed, gentle, strong, awake, you stop living in the shadow of her voice and begin speaking with your own. This is where healing begins. If this spoke to something inside you, you're not alone. You're not broken. Subscribe for more reflections on healing, shadow work, and the psychology of becoming whole. And if you're ready, leave a comment below. I choose to break the cycle. That one sentence might be the beginning of everything. See you in the next video.